freewheeling cavalcade of circular motion, thus defined by the octagon table of double-wide mental introspection and dedicated utilitarian outward thinking in defense of zero content. Translation: we ain't got. Well, I got something here. It's a sandwich, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to finish it because I ain't got time. All right, so Beetlejuice, live 5x5. Guys over on the Facebook side of things are going to have to let me know how things are going because those people who don't know how things work, there is actually a simulcast there, and it is essentially me working basically a multitude of devices here. So essentially what I have here is I have two cameras side by side. This one being for the YouTube side, this one being for the Facebook side. So those people on either side are not the wrong cameras as it were. But so we're now here, all the good stuff like that there. And oh my stars and garters, what can I begin to tell you except for, man, the Democrat National Committee is just yeah, man. I mean, bad. I mean, really bad. Where have they gotten to at this point in time in terms of, like, you know, the essentially the situation with the obviously the the current occupant of the White House. Oh man,
I've fallen and I can't get up.
We're really rapidly approaching that one, dude, because he's just yeah. Grand Theft Auto wasted. Yeah. Yeah, he's not doing it, man. He's really not doing it. And it's gotten so bad that, like, the fallout from him being in office and doing things that are exceedingly unpopular and trying to put things in place that are making people rethink their election choices. Wow. I mean, wow. Just give me 1 second here. Just got a case of the hard to acquire but wonderfully tasty, yummy honest tea with green tea with honey. They used to carry it at my local Wawa. Now they don't. Now I got to go on Amazon to get it. But you know what? I'm buying it on Amazon, getting a case. Just give me orange. Thank you. I'm getting a case in the throw, and it's not so terrible bad, and it's doing okay. Orange is kind of seeking additional attention this week, and really seeking additional attention this week. Mostly because we've had an addition to the household, also known as, Canis Americanus, this guy. So essentially what we got is we have ourselves doesn't really show so great in that picture maybe, but I do have other pictures of him, and he is our resident doggo. It is kind of funny now because Orange is in my lap, and let me change my brightness here. That's a little bit too bright for the cameras. Anyway, so look at this thing as it is. Orange is in my lap, and the puppy is looking up, and Orange is like, dude, I don't know about this thing. It doesn't exactly smell so horrible. It doesn't treat me exactly so horrible, but you know, he is what he is. So anyway, what we've gotten in our household nowadays was Mrs. Dude and the niece were like, we need a dog, and I was like, we need a dog. And they're like, yeah, we need a dog. It's like, dude, we got 5 cats. It's like, no, we need a dog. So then we started doing some market studies. Orange, or you now notice Orange is now noticing there's no dog. Okay, so the tail antenna being erect, we now have ourselves Mr. Orange. Yes. Okay, so Mr. Orange is now noticing I'm wearing a black shirt, which means he has to leap upon me. So anyway, in our operation of household facilities now, we have got ourselves a 8, almost 9-week-old Labradoodle puppy. He is 75% poodle, 25% Labrador, and in the mix of those two breeds, you basically get yourself like a seriously good bred dog. And he is an English lab. Excuse me their orange. So anyway, we are now basically needing something that was cat friendly and hopefully hypoallergenic, because, you know, poodles are just, you can have like somebody with the worst allergies. They can walk up to a poodle and they can start snorting lines all over the dog and did not get any interaction whatsoever. Poodles are just supremely hypoallergenic. They knocked the shedding down. They knocked the dander problem down from the Labrador side. And you get basically a scary smart dog. Like literally, we've only had this guy like a few days, and already he's pretty much figured out kinda. He does need assistance. And I'm like hanging onto the leash to make sure he doesn't go flying, but he can zip pretty much right up the flight of stairs. Coming down the stairs, there's a little bit of whimpering involved, and there's a little bit of puppy tentativeness, and I kind of have to make him go down the stairs. But he's pretty much got my stairwell down, so he can pretty much zip straight up and go to my room, which is where he is in the bathroom. And then, of course, obviously, he's socialized and he's with everybody and all good stuff like that there. But, for times where we're trying to make him realize that, this is like the dog kennel. This is time to quiet down. This is sleep time. We put him in there, at night. Of course, we have to let him out, piddle and whatnot. He's actually really good about that. He has leaked a little bit in the house, but every time he needs to drop a deuce, he will let us know. Anyway, Martina Sasquatch in the room. Lawrence, Kansas, is anyone out there? This is Lawrence, Kansas, the day after. Oh, jeez. Yeah, pretty much there, Martina Sasquatch. Barry K. Sean, appreciate you coming on by, dude. Do see that I have a couple people in the room, a couple people, hopefully more coming in and taking place. We will be backing this up also on Facebook. So we now have running literally as a simulcast. Of course, Facebook keeps showing me this. Oh, the FPS is too low. It's like, dude, how much action stuff do you think is really going on right now with me basically doing just, a talking to? All right. So anyway, the other shoe to drop on the Democrat side of the aisle. Well, let's just say that, Virginia is starting to turn red again. No, sorry, Democrats. That's just how it is. It's starting to happen that you guys started this stuff off, and yeah, you got it straight to the guts. So anyway, it might be just time for you guys to just, just don't do it, okay? Because it seems like every time that I gotta find this correctly, folks. I cannot respond to him except for calling him what he is, and we're talking about President. That's right, President. That's right, President Joe Kaka, also known as FJB, also known as Let's Go Brandon. I do find it funny that the other side of the aisle is so completely losing their how do I say this without saying this? How would you say this without saying this? They're completely losing their no, sound guy. It's gotta be more just that's pretty good. They're completely losing their that's spot on, man. They're losing it right in their pants. Pretty much just no, dude, no. More of that. Definitely more of that, okay? We're talking like they are completely just yeah. Yeah, it's just yeah, they on the Democrat side of the aisle are just completely losing it and filling their pants up with sheer frustration. Yeah, it's definitely ew dookie. So anyway, seeing as the first domino of which to fall, there is now a Republican governor in, of all things, Virginia. Wow, we're talking about Governor Youngkin. So we can now say that most empathetically, the Republican ticket was huge this time around. A lot of guys got in. Obviously, the governor got in. I think what it is essentially is even the very, very blue leftist, libtard, socialist, whatever, government peon, tech guys, call them what you will, all right? Even those guys are realizing Joe Kaka is not the answer to a really, really bad question, and oops, buyer's remorse. Oh, man. Oh, man. Curious Entertainment, dude. Appreciate you coming by, brother. So looking at things as it is right now, the DNC is just beside themselves. They have absolutely no idea how to go further. And oh, my stars and garters. I I can only say that pretty much Virginia might be the start, if it isn't already, with this whole, let's go Brandon and FJB and people making fun out of, everything that the Democrats hold dear. Yeah, Virginia might be the start of a new American Revolution. People are realizing that the Democrats are not the direction they wish for the United States in which to go. It took long enough. Oh, well, we got to hate Trump. We got to hate Trump. Okay, I cannot begin to tell you how funny I think this one is. I almost really wish I had like a better program where I could drag and drop this stuff. You know what? I actually might be able to cheat this a little bit. Let me see if I can't cheat this a little bit here. Okay. I'm gonna have to really get cute, and it's gonna be, well, I'm kind of using graphic aids here when I really probably should just simply just do stuff, which, to really just do stuff. But I did post up a link. This is coming in on November 3rd, so obviously 6 days ago. And I cannot begin to tell you how much this tickled me to see this. But essentially what happened is that the Democrats are completely, or at least I think some guy on was it Twitter, or was it like some guy on MSNBC, they were completely losing their cookies because somebody made something that is, well, pretty much very, very cute. And I cannot begin to do this thing justice. I really truly have to just show you guys for what this thing is. But man, I cannot begin. It's not going to give me a good screenshot here, so I'm going to have to cheat a screenshot. And I'm kind of doing like, the stuff on the fly here, which is kind of really not the way I wish to do stuff. But, sometimes you kind of have to do things on the fly. So let me get out of that, go over here to my gallery, most recent items, screenshots. I hate when it really just doesn't want to work with me here. Okay, what this is this is a lower that says, and it's from, of all things, Palmetto State Armory, or PSA. So what this is an AR-15 lower, and on the magazine well area it says, "Let's go," all caps, -15 multi. So as in, it can take any kind of caliber. That's the way to do the registration stuff. The serial number is Brandon. ... This one being a demonstrator unit, it's just all zeros. But up in the other area here behind the bolt catch area, it says Palmetto State Army, which is required by the BATF. You have to put your manufacturer stamp on there somewhere. And West Columbia, South Carolina. Now, the positions on a normal AR-15, it's semi on top and safe on the back. Now, on an M16, it is full auto, semi, of course, safe. On this one, the forward position is F ampersand CK apostrophe. Above that, it says Joe with an apostrophe. Before you would even think of going all the way back to safe, it says Biden with an apostrophe. So it says blank Joe Biden right on the side of the positions of which you could utilize to put the thing in all the different modes of operation. I cannot begin to do this justice when these guys hoist the liberal petards. Wait. So it got so crazy on MSNBC, and they so completely, hang on a sound guy, I got this one. They so completely lost their, they completely lost their, just, they lost it all hugely. Wait, they lost it so badly that somebody at the MSNBC Department of Screaming Meanites called the Secret Service and was like, "This is an open threat to the president because it's not a weapon." To which the guys in the Secret Service was probably like, "Yeah, a whole bunch of bubbas are going to buy these and really go charging up to the White House." Really, MSNBC? That's what you think? Like, gun folk really do? Yeah, these guys are just beyond losing their cookies, man. I cannot begin to tell you. So anyway, this is Nicholas Vondicaro on Twitter. Quote, "Liberal lunacy MSNBC claims a novelty AR lower featuring, quote, 'Let's go Brandon,' end quote, As part of the serial number and F asterisk asterisk asterisk, Joe Biden on the fire selector was part of the gun maker marketing to endanger the president of the United States. These guys are completely looking at it, man. Looking it right in the face and going, I gotta go crazy here. Yeah. So what I said on that one was, what's wrong? Cheeto wasn't too much of a sitting president. You guys asked for this. Now you got it. When you install somebody who's a mental defective and saying, yes, he is our guy. Yeah. Biden diagnosis election loss in Virginia. Quote, people are upset and uncertain. Joe, Booby, no, they're rejecting you. They're rejecting your politics. And they think that everything that you're doing so far is completely 180 out of the way that the direction of the nation's proper and good leadership methodologies, of which you could be unplacing yourself, and you're failing miserably, dude. Wow. No, they're sick of you, your policies, and your party's attempt to make us the laughingstock of the blanking planet. That's what you're being rejected for. Yeah. I don't know if you guys heard about this one, but there was a German flight. I'm going to have to pull the link up on this one. It's from Team Tucker Carlson. A fully vaccinated airline passenger was found to be infected with COVID, but he died flying on this flight. I cannot begin to do this one justice, folks. But amid debates over COVID-19 vaccines to prevent transmission of the virus, comes a report from Germany that a vaccinated man died aboard a plane, was later found to be infected with COVID-19. No, the man was, not the plane was. Horrible writing. The virus not confirmed as the cause of death, according to the National. And so the 51-year-old man, whose name has not been disclosed, was flying from Istanbul, Turkey, to Hamburg, Germany on October 25 aboard Pegasus Airlines. Never heard of it. He was found motionless in the seat after the other passengers had disembarked from the plane. And why does this make me go back to like that Commando movie where Arnold basically, has the guy sitting beside him that's supposed to fly with him to the destination and of course be his quote unquote bodyguard. Arnold basically grabs a guy, I love the celery cracking sound of the guy's neck breaking. He lays the guy down, tilts the hat over his face, puts a blanket over him. Stewardess comes over and is like, sir, do you need anything? He's like, no. Hang on a second. No, he doesn't need anything. My flight is sleeping. He's dead tired. And then, of course, Arnold does the completely impossible feat of finding his way into the cargo area, climbing down the landing gear, and then jumping off an aircraft, which is coming off the deck at like about 220 miles an hour. And yeah, he lands perfectly in a lake or in a swamp or something, swims back and manages to make it back to the airport, which he's now. If you guys know anything about the way airports are laid out, okay, even small airports, okay, you have the airport area, you have the fringe area surrounding it, which is blanking huge. It's not like you just go, oh, okay, well, I just jumped into the water at the edge of the airport, and I'm just gonna get into the airport and then do whatever I need to do. They're blanking huge. There's usually like a few miles across. You're not just gonna go and dive off an aircraft and go trotting your way back in like it was nothing, all right? Anyway, but I digress. Sorry, police spokesman said he was traveling alone and it had a window seat on the plane. Well, at least he had a nice view before he kicked off. In order to enter Germany from Turkey, the traveler had to provide either proof of vaccination or a negative test. Quote, in full compliance with COVID-19 regulations between Germany and Turkey, the passenger was allowed to take the flight from Istanbul to Turkey after providing evidence of his or her complete vaccination status, Pegasus Airlines said in a statement. So, blah, 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 blah. We extend our condolences, this, that, and the other thing. Jerk, pull. Whatever. So, anyway, the Lancet, it now steps off to somewhere else, too. The medical journal, The Lancet, indicated that individuals who've been vaccinated against COVID-19 are just as likely to spread the Delta variant of the virus as those who have not been vaccinated. Now, I've actually heard it stated in some instances that people vaccinated actually are worse vectors for the Delta because they'll carry it in their schnoz, and because it can't get into their body, it just goes beep, 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 has like a little disco party in their schnoz and really replicates like crazy. And every time the guy's expelling droplets, sneezing, hacking, spitting, coughing, swapping spit with other people, of course, they're propagating the Delta variant to everybody they encounter. So what the Lancet says, although vaccines remain highly effective at preventing severe disease and deaths from COVID-19, our findings suggest that the vaccination is not sufficient to prevent transmission of the Delta variant in household settings with prolonged exposures. End quote, the study concluded. Okay, dude, no, okay? If you want to really get down on how stuff works, it's not the time in which you're spending with somebody else that can give you the bougies, okay? It's actually the exposure to the other person that gives you the bougies. Oh, this was really, really bad science, folks. It's been expressly stated. I mean, I remember, very early in this thing, we're all basically, everybody was sequestered in their houses, stay home unless you're essential, blah, 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 blah. This is after me, recovering after being, chest worked and all the rest of that good stuff. So anyway, so I'm in the process of recovering and what have you. I'm not quite ready to start driving again or anything. And Mrs. Dude's like asking me my opinion on it. I'm like, this is Bravo Sierra. And she's like, what? It's like, no, it's Bravo Sierra. The science in this thing is horrible. The way that they're expressing like barrier protection, it's not even good exposure protection of the barrier protection procedures, which they're describing. And she's like, so what do you think? I'm like, they're throwing crap in a fan and hoping something sticks because they're just not doing it right. They're really just kind of throwing these things around and they're thinking that they have a handle on this thing when really they don't know what the blank they're talking about. And that was really early in this. And I was right. I'm vindicated in that regard. Like, well, basically everything I've been saying so far has been pretty much huge. I cannot begin to do this justice. I cannot begin to do this justice. I forget who it was, but all around all the news media, literally all the news media, Rachel Maddow and all the other screaming mediaites on MSNBC and CNN and all those other, just leftard of Lenin places of worship. And they were completely losing. Hang on, Sal. I got this. They were completely losing their big time, man. We're just talking just horrifically just freaking out, running around. Just completely losing their cookies because they were seeing the election results coming in from Virginia, and it was not even just good in a regard. I'm sure some of them were running into the bathroom and going, this can't happen. Yeah, they were just. Oh my! No, I don't think they were George Takei, dude. No, I think that they were just completely losing their stuff and approaching the status of fatality. Well, I don't know about that one, but definitely, yeah, definitely toot. Definitely toot. I'm sure they were tooting in their pants, sharting it up like a big dog, and just completely losing it. So it was funny to behold. I've seen like montages of all these guys completely doing complete and total freak out for the whole Virginia thing, and I can't do it justice, man, except the only thing I got to say today is today's word of the day is Schadenfreude. That's right. Today's word of the day, Schadenfreude. Oh, my stars and garters. I cannot begin to do it justice. CLUS, exactly. I was doing the same thing. I was getting entirely too much just Schadenfreude. It's just... And Schadenfreude is just an awesome, awesome word. It's taking joy in the the discomfort and the hurt of others. And oh my stars and garters. Now, okay, this shows you the kind of desperation that the DNC has at the present time. Mark my words. I gotta do it. Thor's hammer. Mark my words. Mark my words. Joe Manchin will run for president sometime in the near future. I guarantee you, because he's the John McCain right now of the Democrat Party, except he's actually really the Maverick. He is the only reason that the politics has pretty much stopped, screeched to a halt, and all the stupid expenditures and budgetary bad ideas and all those things haven't gone further. It's because of Joe Manchin. That is the only reason it has not proceeded further. And I guarantee you, Nancy Pelosi is completely beside herself that she can't reach across, and ring the phone on his desk and go, dude, fix things, please. Because he's not budging. He knows for a absolute fact, if he even toes one baby toe into the water of trying to do anything Democrat related, he is out of there. West Virginia is not going to tolerate him playing games, cozying up to the guys on the same aisle, or doing those things are really stupidly in place and just bad execution. Now, he's actually been the voice of reason, and he's actually kind of coming in more like one of those guys like the Scoop Jackson side of things, or more like the old Blue Dogs. Now, if you guys know the history on the Democrat Party, there was those people who were known as the Blue Dogs. The Blue Dogs were the conservative sect of the Democrat Party. Now, were they truly conservative? No, I would say that they were kind of still socially liberal, but they were fiscally conservative. And they were like, you know what? Thor's hammer. We're not doing something stupid that's going to jack up the country. We are not going to do these things because that is bad juju. So, how desperate are the Democrats at this point in time? Well, I would say most empathetically, how would you say it there? Sound guy, how would you say it? Sorry, wrong. That's on me. Sound guy, how would you say it? Oh, no. That's the other one that's wrong too. I recorded them. Was it this one? No, was it this? Was it that? No, that's when he got busted. I don't have the sound bite of his public statement. I'll have to fix that sometime. Anyway, so looking at things as it is, it is really, really just, they're desperate. They're completely losing their cookies right now, and I cannot begin to tell you how desperate they are. Well, how desperate they really? Well, sound guy, could you at least break in here for a second? Let me know what you think. Right? Oh, that makes perfect sense, dude. Absolutely perfect sense. Clear as glass. Oh, if you don't understand sound guy ease, he was saying essentially that he's the guy that's really just making things have happen, and they're not happy about it in the DNC because, well, they're not getting their way. How bad do they really have it right now in the DNC? They have now started calling Joe Manchin. I cannot begin to tell me how funny I find this. I just can't begin to tell you just how much this strikes me as humorous. Oh man, it really is one of those things that just I cannot begin to do it justice. They're now referring to him as racist. They're saying Joe Manchin is racist. Wow, man. When you start doing stuff like that,
that's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Yeah, definitely, sound guy. Game over. I cannot begin to do that one justice. Well, Mr. Unhappy Democrat member that basically you're stuck. You may as well just call your little gray guys up in the sky and just, because things on this planet are not going to look good for you for the extended period because people know you for who you are. Wow. I cannot do this justice. I just can't. Another one Manchin did was he basically he did a Well, Lucy and that's it. Okay, that's what it is. It's Lucy and Charlie Brown. Joe Manchin was Lucy holding the football. Joe comes running up. He's boot the ball, and she just goes whip, and he does the splat. So he literally pulled the rug out from the spending bill. He's like, it's not happening. I'm not doing it. It's bad juju, bad execution. Not feeling it. I cannot begin to tell you how much this cracks me up, but Cher completely. I gotta find it again, sound guy. It's just way too much fun. She's completely just losing her. Yeah. And when you start talking about somebody who's like her, so she is a
I'm juggling thunder.
yeah, she's really a blank juggling thunder meow of the highest order. I mean, I could not do it justice on just how big a meow thundering or meow juggling thunder meow she is. But she says essentially that the GOP are Nazis and will make America a white-only club. I wonder if this stupid, I gotta say it, I wonder if this stupid "See you in Toledo" has ever seen a Trump rally where there is literally a pantheon of everybody of all different colors, races, sexes, creeds, colors, what have yous, gathered there. Now, when you see like the monochrome of those elected officials in the Congress and Senate on the Democrat side, with only a few brown faces to make it just enough, because they have enough of those guys from those areas to make sure the minorities don't get mad at them, because we know what happens when, the Democrats don't represent properly in the proper part of town. And I'm doing that self-affected thing that they tend to do, where they tend to get really, really black when they're in an area that's not theirs, but they're trying to put the impression on that they care. It's blatant, total, complete, and absolute hypocrisy that the Democrats really, truly don't like publicized well. KKK, Dred Scott, segregation, and oh yeah, welfare state dissolving the black nuclear family. That is all Democrat policy. You assholes have screwed the black race in this country more than any white guy in the Republican side of the aisle ever has. Party of Lincoln? Yeah, bite me, you see you in Toledo. You fake, disgusting slot. S-L-O-T, slot. I don't know if you guys caught this one or not, but, Schumer supposedly was pushing a voting bill to try to switch around the election stuff, and that kind of didn't work so good because that didn't work out except for blowing up in his face. Patriot Fever, appreciate you coming on by, brother. The problem is now, and I love this one. This is one I truly, truly do love. Now, this is one of these kind of sociopathic thing that Democrats and socialists and communists do, is they will charge the other guy of doing the thing that they are doing at the moment in time to deflect the blame while blaming the other guy for exactly the crap that they're doing. I love this one right now that probably left of Lenin, left of the Washington Post, and completely, just absolutely full on left. There probably is just no other way to explain it other than simply just to say, left, just full on, just left. All right. There's no other way to say it except left. No other way to say it. Just full on left. And essentially what we find ourselves here is we find ourselves looking at the situation of which Joe Manchin has created, not just a little bit, but an entirely different paradigm. He started a revolution. Yeah, well, that's the funny thing, too, is, Yahoo's completely losing their cookie saying, opinion. The revolution Joe Manchin, brackets, probably can't stop. Dude, it's not like he's like the figurehead for like whatever is happening here for everybody rebelling against the Democrats. He is a, what I say he's actually like something that is like a predisposition to follow the proper path. No. I don't trust politicians enough. I think he really truly sees the long road down the road as he wants to be president. Okay. He's trying to say, I'm not one of those guys. That's really what he's trying to say. And if you want to really get down and dirty, I don't think we've ever had a president out of West Virginia. He wants to be that guy. He wants to be that guy. Anyway, Joe Biden promised to return the Democrat Party to its Rooseveltian roots. Even hobbled the agenda could have that kind of generational sweep. Okay, let's get down and dirty here, okay? FDR was not a great president. Teddy Roosevelt, borderline socialist, okay? Any of the Roosevelts in office, they were not hard-won centrists. They weren't even the slightest bit right. When you start looking at like Teddy established, well, the national parks. What are the national parks? Well, it's supposed to be public lands, but can you do anything in the public parks? It's hard. There's areas that are public parks that are government property that if you put your 2 feet on, you will be arrested. There's secured areas you can't go to. Oh, yeah. Don't try to go to, Area 51 or you will get a ride in the back of that white truck that's been watching you for the last 20 minutes. Yeah, don't do those things. But anyway, Yahoo losing their cookies and positing the absolutely oblivious, this is a revolution we can't stop. No, you guys are just calling it for what it is. And what it is something that basically people are finally tired of dealing with your crap. And I love this one. Biden administration urges court not to block COVID-19 vaccine mandates. Well, he did. Them saying, hey, could you guys not do that? They're going to look at him and go, dude, you're the guys that put us into this mess. We're trying to give breathing room and for people to figure this thing out. And also for the legislation to catch up to the point and go, no, mandates are not good. Don't do these things. Excuse me 1 second here. Now, I do have a video. I actually shot it in my car as I was driving around. And I go way more into detail about why, they're going on about, well, Washington had a smallpox mandate. It's like, yeah, well, if you know anything about smallpox, and I've quoted this one before, there is the scale of contagion, and you have something referred to as the RO or R-OT, and that's like the realm of contagiousness of everything. And it's like, you have at the bottom rung is something that's really barely contagious at all. Then you have it scrolled up a little further. Then you have colds. Then you have AIDS. Then you have coronavirus. And I think coronavirus is actually less contagious than AIDS, okay? So let's just call that one what it is. You go all the way to the most absolute worst contagious thing to encounter. That's smallpox, okay? Literally, smallpox is the number one dirty, nasty little bougie that if you just walk around and go, smallpox just kind of goes, duke, and you got it. But anyway, that's why when they do any kind of bioweapons or any kind of anything along those lines, they base it on smallpox. Why? Because it's the most contagious, nasty little bougie that you can go, well, let's just stick these 2 things together. Yeah, that's 2 things that are great together. So then you have this nasty little packet of nastiness that's now got something that's very transmissible, very, very contagious. And oh yeah, once you give it to somebody, bleh, they got it and everybody's got it. That's why bioweapons are such a nasty little never let them out of the door. Yes, I do live only about 50 miles away from Fort Detrick. Very reassuring to think that we have some of the nastiest little boogers on the planet only 50 miles away. Which way the prevailing winds go? Usually northeast, so it's hopefully going to miss me, but it's nasty stuff. You're only going to be good for a while until it goes around and everybody's got it. Kind of like COVID. Yeah, kind of like COVID. Scrolly. President Biden unloads the mandate hammer. Joe plans 6-figure fines and inspections after a hard deadline. Well, you know what? Don't stop, Joe. Please don't stop. Please do continue to ruin your party and its chances in the next election. Please continue to do these things. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you guys caught up on this one or not, but supposedly the election in New Jersey, this was really, really interesting. And for some reason, it wouldn't allow me to put up like a thumbnail on it. But essentially what it was is the election took place in New Jersey between a very, very entrenched Democrat. Well, a guy decided he was going to run the Republican ticket. He was going to run against him. And this guy had been in since Christ as a cadet. And he's going to, he basically needs to be challenged. So anyway, this guy challenges him. The gentleman's name was is Edward Durr. So David Uniform Romeo. He's a former truck driver. And this is the best part about this story. Oh, you can't beat Democrats in blue states. Oh, they're so entrenched. There's not a prayer in the world of taking them down. It's better even not even to try because you're just going to lose. Well, anyway, he's poised currently and will defeat the long-serving Democrat. And why did he win the ticket in a blue state? Because he's seen as the alternative as a Republican. So, this is coming from PatriotJournal.com. Truck driver upset Democrat win. All the rest of the good stuff like that there. Here is the best part about this story. He beat this entrenched Democrat in a blue state running as a Republican for $153. Thor's hammer. You can beat Democrats. Never, ever listen to the news media. Never, ever listen to these screaming memeites of all the media hype about, oh, Democrats are so unbeatable. When they are challenged and it becomes a contest of wills and they can't use the scream him down, don't allow him to make my arguments look bad because I'm simply using hyperbole and invective and all this other tools in the trade. When he takes me apart with facts, I cannot counter him. Remember that, folks. Democrats use emotion, use voice, use screaming you down because they cannot counter the facts. They cannot stop the information of which makes them look bad and counter it. The only thing they can do is, well, don't vote for him because he's bad. He's racist. He's a homophobe. He's this. He's jingoistic. He's an imperialist. He's this and that. All those proletariat phrases that they tend to use when they try to talk down somebody from the bourgeoisie. Remember, folks, Democrats can be beaten. And right now, they are exceedingly vulnerable. They need to be taken out of office. Physical harm? Well, that's up to you, but they need to get taken out of office. So, currently right now, there is a case in the Supreme Court that is making the Democrats, well, yet again, I really just got to get much, much better sound effect than just, the poop. I need, what would be a good one? What would be a good one? I really just need like a really just better sound effect. So, I don't know about that one, sound guy, but they really truly need to have like just bad sounds. Okay, we need to know for a fact that they are just things under are just no, not down under, things under. Well, okay, they basically crap their pants. All right, that's what we need to show. We need to show that they've dumped the load in their pants and things are not doing good. Okay, that's what we need. We need to show that they are just I need something better than that, sound guy. Okay, I need something better. Well, I'm squishy on that. Oops. Anyway, let's leave around the bathroom stuff. Okay, let's leave that behind. Okay. Anyway, so the gun control experts are freaking out completely because the Supreme Court finally, oh my stars and garters, are finally hearing a Second Amendment case from New York City. That's right. They're finally hearing one, and they're actually deciding carry permit, not carry permit? Is it overstated to say that you have to show good and proper reason? Like in my suck-ass state of Maryland, you have to show good and proper reason to get a carry permit, when there's a lot of states that are, have huge reciprocity. I think Utah might be the best one. It's like 38 states or something. Florida's very good. Texas is very good. There's a lot of states that have huge reciprocity. I think Utah is actually the best, though. But the Supreme Court finally is hearing a Second Amendment case, and maybe we could take down the New York crap, and then from there, other states are going to fall by the wayside. Well, yeah, obviously, hallelujah. So anyway, look at this things as it is in that one. They are losing their cookies. No citizens to be required to justify his or her exercise of an enumerated right, which is really what the New York case is all about. Second Amendment, folks, that is an enumerated right. Yeah. I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not, but supposedly vaccine refusals in the intelligence communities are now raising Republican concerns. Complain about it in public about our undercovers getting or not getting shot status. Joe, Kaka, Bubby, dude, you have so screwed the pooch on this one that potentially right now, it could be said that the Democrat Party is just, they are most definitely going to be
Death by snoo-snoo.
No, sound guy, not death by snoo-snoo. It is going to be
Death
by most definitely. Yes, most definitely. And I'm not going to be happy until I see the Democrat Party just right there on the ground, twitching in its final little just. That is the only time I'm going to be happy to hear anything about the Democrat Party, is they're doing their final death throes, and pretty much everybody just looks at them and goes, you know what?
You're despicable.
Exactly. They're tired of the games, tired of the stuff, and we're seeing them for exactly what they are. Complete and total honesty. Another one that's completely, absolutely, awesomely badass. I don't know if you guys caught up on this one or not, but in Virginia, besides getting a Republican governor, they have now gotten the very first woman of color as the lieutenant governor in Virginia. I'm talking about Miss Winsome Sears, a Jamaican immigrant who's been in the United States since she was 6 years old, and she is now serving in the second highest office in the state of Virginia. Former Marine, total badass. I am completely happy to hear about her being in office and good stuff like that. There is nothing further to say about that one except just, well, oh, freaking raw. Semper Fi there, Devil Dog. That is badass. I don't know if you guys heard about this one, but supposedly Pfizer has problems now. Because there's a COVID vaccine trial that's being investigated. Like, did you guys fake the results when you were doing the initial testing? Yeah. I cannot begin to tell you how much that really is just bad juju. This is kind of interesting. Biden blues. 44% of Democrats and Democrat-leaning independents want Biden off of the 2024 ticket. He is considered a boat anchor, and they really just do not want anything to do with him because he's just going to crack stuff up and just not do good things, okay? He's going to make things just, he's gonna drop things on, and they're just going to be like, you king person, get out of here. It's not going to work so good for them, okay? Could be said that the romance... wow. was Careless Whisper on about 4 different off chords. Yipes. You want to talk about something that just grates on your nerves when you know good pitch, and that was it, man. That was it, okay? Anyway, so could be said right now that Joe Kaka is just kind of going,
But I pooped from there.
yeah. No uncertain terms. He's just, he's not happy. Wish he could go back to the way things were. Yeah. Wish he could go back to the way things were. Anyway, I don't know if you guys caught up on this one. This was a little bit niche and kind of more me than anybody. Or maybe just more, niche because, I really just like maybe not steampunk, but I really, really like techno punk kind of stuff. But I got to tell you, man, Black Lotus Blade Runner cartoon that they're going to have on Adult Swim Cartoon Network, man, that thing just looks completely blanking badass. And it looks good. It looks really, really good. Looks like somebody really did a hell of a lot of work to study up on the way that the Blade Runner universe looks. And absolutely wanted to make sure that it had happened is that it was authentic in its appearance. I cannot begin to tell you how cool it looked in the trailer I saw. Oh, wow. I forgot about this story. I don't know if you guys caught up in this one or not, but supposedly Joe Kaka is, well, there's really no other way to say it, but I think the only way to really say it is just to say it, and that's, things are not going well for Joe Kaka, okay? Joe Kaka right now is just, well, he's going down, folks. He's pretty much just, yeah, we're talking 38% approval rating right now. And dropping. Still dropping. Scroll. I don't know if you guys caught up in this one or not. This is kind of niche, but the Ashley Biden alleged diary being ew, woof, and gross. That's all I got to say about that one. Just look it up for yourselves, man. Wow. Supposedly, the federal court blocks the mandates. Let's see. Scrolly. Now there's a bunch of rhinos we really truly need to get rid of, and these are the guys that posted and made possible the $1.2 trillion infrastructure spending package. It's bad jurisprudence, sir. Bad. Let's see. This one's very interesting too. Also going down to Florida, DeSantis celebrates the incredible news Republicans in Florida just got. This is huge. Now, if you guys know anything about like the way things used to work in Florida, you would have the old people doing the snowbird thing. They would live up north and they would winter, quote unquote. I love that rich guy phrase. They would, quote unquote, winter in Florida. And they would go, obviously, to their other areas during the summertime because summer's brutal in Florida. I mean, it's just hot. But during the wintertime, summer is just freaking amazing. I mean, I've been down in Florida in December, and it was like 70 degrees and like 55 at night. It was like absolutely perfect. But anyway, so what it is now is like it's been the old case of the old guys going down there retiring, usually from exceedingly liberal blue state areas, making Florida very, very blue in some instances, but there was enough conservatives to make the thing always run red. Now, obviously, you have places like Miami-Dade and, West Palm and, areas like that tend to be very, very, Tampa, areas like that tend to kind of purple or / blue. But it has now come out, awesomely, that the population in Florida has tipped not even a little bit, but hugely to the red side of the aisle. So it can be stated most empathetically, Florida is stridently, completely, absolutely, positively red at this point in time. That is cool. Scrolly. I don't know if you guys caught up in this one or not, but Nancy Pelosi's not been having a very good month at all. So Pelosi's efforts have partially collapsed despite months of negotiation for the ambitious spending plan It's just not happening. It's not working the way that she wants it to. Speaking of people spending money foolishly, I cannot do this one justice, folks, but there's a guy, he's got a Tesla, right? Now, if you guys know anything about electric cars, you're driving along, and you're looking down, you're going, oh, my range is great. Well, next thing you know, it starts getting cold. Battery life starts going bad, and then, I better find a place to charge. Well, that's not going to happen if you basically are out in the middle of nowhere. So what did this guy do? And this is from interestingengineering.com. The guy installed a $2,500 solar trailer to charge the car while he's driving. Now, technically, I didn't think that would be allowed. I didn't think it would be actually something that could work. But supposedly, you can drive along and you can charge your car while driving your Tesla. Okay, I didn't know that you could do that, all right? All right, I think it's good, sound guy. I think they got it, okay? So anyway, the situation being is this guy has a trailer with like a big solar panel on it, a small bank of batteries, charge controllers, and he's driving around pulling this trailer all the time, charging his car. Now, I would be more concerned about like just driving along, and of course, things go really, really wrong, and that's what I'd be worried about. Is you're driving along, things are charging, things are looking okay, and then kablooey. That's what I'd be worried about. You're driving along, your batteries are charging, you're in the sunlight. Oh, you're really, really, really in the sunlight. They start overcharging, and then all of a sudden, you just bought a $50,000, $70,000 explosive device with 4 wheels. Not good times. So anyway, this guy monkeyed up or made or somehow came up with a $2,500 solar charger to charge his car while he was driving. Why did you just simply buy something with a tank that you can refill in 5 minutes like a gas vehicle? Woof. This is Yahoo done it. Yahoo News done again. I cannot begin to tell you how many times it cracks me up when these guys do this stuff. But buyer's remorse much? They say maybe Biden should quit while he's ahead. Yuck. Just yuck. I don't know if you guys saw this one or not, but this one is coming from the Kyle Rittenhouse. This is just a travesty what they try to do to this kid. Locking him up in jail, not letting him have any time out, basically jerking with him. But here was the statement from the guy that walked up on him and basically pulled a gun. Witness Grosskreutz, he admitted he only got shot when he drew his gun on Kyle and advanced on him. Folks, I cannot do this justice. You see the prosecutor just like face palming himself on the desk like, well, there goes my case. And he was a douche nozzle of the highest order, might I say. I cannot begin to do that justice. Speaking of douche nozzles, Apple fixed the Mac OS Monterey flaw that bricked some of the T2 MacBooks. I wonder if they fixed it free or if they make you go to the store. Apple's fixed the MS Monterey flaw and prevented some of the T2 equipped Macs from starting, but affected users don't have an easy solution. No, you probably got to go to the Mac store and fix it. Yuck. I cannot begin to do this justice. There is a representative. Let me find the link here. She is Republican Representative Lauren Boebert of Colorado, and she appeared to mock New Jersey Democrat. New York from the Bronx. New York Democrat Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in her tax-to-rich dress. She's wearing a red dress. I cannot begin to do this justice, but the red dress is a red dress. And on the back, in big letters, it says, "Let's go, Brandon," with Brandon like over her butt. I cannot begin to do this justice. This chick, she's fun. I like her. She's cool. So anyway, looking at things as it is, that's what she posted up, and made it proper in for people looking at things. Obviously, male related, people will be looking at her, butakis, so good stuff like that there. Anyway, so scrolly. Hang on a sec. I got a lot of news today. Let's see. Scroll. This one is a tweet that I posted up, and I cannot begin to do it justice. It's a short video, but here's the strangest thing. Why is the presidential seal in this video blurred out? Is it a situation where they're afraid of using an official seal and being fined because he's not officially the president of the United States? Or was somebody such a moron, they have no idea that behind him is two flags showing that same seal, but only on his lectern, not the podium, mind you, folks. That's the way things work. The podium is the thing that you're standing on. That's the dais. The lectern is the wooden stand in which you place your stuff that you're reading. But on his lectern is the dinner plate size presidential seal, and it was blurred for the entire video that was posted up. So, are you saying he isn't authorized to use the POTUS seal and you had to blur it out to avoid being fined? Interesting thoughts there, huh? But screw a guy was getting reamed by a female because he was talking about the benefits of the bipartisan infrastructure bill, and she thought that roadways were quote unquote racist. I cannot do this justice, folks. I really can't. But supposedly the other one too is also, where's Peppermint Pasaki? Haven't seen her in a while. Caught COVID and disappeared. Despite being fully vaccinated, she's been disappeared for 11 days now. Where's Peppermint Pasaki? Yep. Now, I cannot do this one also any justice, but supposedly Pelosi was doing one of her usual speeches. Oh, this, that, and the other thing, and we're fixing this. She's doing the grandmotherly thing, like it's so important. You got to listen to her. And the Republicans just started laughing at her. And she's like, do I hear laughter? Do I hear laughter? You're talking about the 1% and the 83% and all these other people. Of course, she's, touting the party line about, how the rich are so well enamored to not be zapped with taxes and this, that, and the other thing. Never mind the fact that this, and I really, if there was ever a time I wanted to curse, it was right now. If this, insert the proper noun, verb, or adjective, doesn't quite understand the fact that we know that she's worth $176 million, she's in the 1%. So it's not like she's, I'm one of these poor downtrodden people. I didn't know, the trials and issues of being one of these kind of things. Yeah. Speaking of the creepy 1%, I cannot begin to do this one justice, but supposedly Chuck Schumer was doing some dancing, and it looked like the creepy old Jewish guy dancing in public that should never be the creepy old Jewish guy dancing in public. Wow. Just wow. This one's kind of interesting. Supposedly, this one coming from Vermont, has the highest COVID-19 vaccination rate in the United States, according to NPR and Epoch Times. State also reported a record number of virus cases on November 4th, according to U.S. News. And there's a long thing I can read and go on with, but I'm not going to do that. You guys can read it at your own leisure. Coming in from analyzingamerica.com, but it's the U.S. state with the highest vaccination rate reports the record number of new COVID cases. One of these things might have something to do with the other. I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not, but supposedly Mike Pence, who I really, truly do not like, says, quote, we're going to win back this country. Well, that's nice, Pence, but I don't trust you. I haven't trusted you. And after you got that little snarky thing against Trump when you both got out of office, I really, really don't like you. And this one is actually kind of interesting, too. This is kind of like, the Ouroboros snake eating its own tail thing. But supposedly, at this point in time, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, PETA, is calling for Fauci's resignation after the horrifying experiments have come to light. So, animal rights group People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals demanded a resignation as to allergy and infectious disease stop brass and its head, Dr. Fauci. I think maybe word got out about him doing that thing to the beagles where they cut the vocal cords and then exposed them to all kinds of painful things. and cut the vocal cords so you couldn't hear them screaming in pain and torment. Yeah. Yeah. This one coming in rather interesting from the CDC showed that between December 14, 2020 to October 29, 2021, a total of 856,919 adverse events following COVID vaccinations were reported to the Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System, or the VAERS. I love these acronyms. They're so stupid. But data included a total of 18,078 reports of deaths, an increase of 459 from the previous week. There were 127,457 reports of serious injuries, including deaths during the same time period, up 3,570 compared with the previous week. Yeah. It's not great stuff, folks. It's not great stuff. As a matter of fact, there's actually a bunch of people that are saying no to the vaccine mandate, and they're just not playing. Pilots take matters in their own hands after the mandate, and they said, you know what? We're not flying. Is in an attached story, you could say hundreds of thousands go on a 4-day national strike over the vaccine mandates. This is one of those kind of cool stories, and I got to actually jump into this one for a second here, because this is kind of cool. Hundreds of thousands go on a 4-day nationwide strike over the vaccine mandates. It's scheduled to take place from November 8 to November 11, according to the main organizer for the walkout, Lee Dundas, human rights attorney and public speaker. I hate these pop-up stupid autoplay things. The event will kick off in Los Angeles on Monday. Locations of march has not been disclosed, but here's the badass part. The walkouts involve people from all various industries such as trucking and telecom. Air and rail transport workers are not federally allowed to go on strike due to a law passed 1926, named the Railway Labor Act, but some plan to protest anonymously. Quote, the Golden Gate Bridge rally is going to be an epic and unprecedented moment in time. It will mark on Veterans Day evening, a 4-day nationwide walkout by rank and file workers everywhere, from blue collar to white collar, black, white, yellow, red, and every faith, every creed, who are uniquely united despite their differences by one common truth, that vaccine mandates have no place in a truly free society, Dundas told the Epic Times. That's badass. When you basically get people from every stripe and pretty much every corner of the country locking arms and going, you know what, this is bad enough that we find a reason to just not. Wow, just not. I did post up a link to a YouTube video, and it's literally just a video showing a timeline, and literally the guys who are known as the liquidators. And if you know anything about Chernobyl, of course, was the reactor disaster that took place in 1986, where a graphite. It's being charitable to call it anything but what it is. It was a graphite reactor, a very old technology, very bad construction, was put through a scram, which is essentially where you pull the rods out and you make that thing just go from normal operation to boom, maximum power. Well, if you guys know anything about radiological stuff, as soon as you take the brakes off that freight train, it's going downhill. It won't stop. It can't stop. And it's a cascade effect where the one atom pops, it pops another atom, those atoms pop, and everything else starts popping. Before you know it, the thing has gone critical. Critical means it is now in a state of complete and total activity that you can't turn off. So then it's going to go what's called super critical, which means everything's just going to go wah. So in the process of doing that, the guy was walking along an elevated walkway, and he's looking down. Now, the way this thing was built, essentially, was just like a giant circle of graphite rods that were shoved in and made it together. Now, graphite is actually one of those kind of cool things where it kind of really doesn't react so bad with like high temperature to a certain point, and nuclear reaction, it doesn't react to a certain point. Well, here's the thing. The guy's looking down, and he's seeing these wedges of graphite that are like all stacked in like this, kind of honeycomb thing, and they're all kind of like wedged in. They're shaped like a wedge, so they all drop together and they hold each other in place. He looks down and he sees these things jumping and bubbling around with the superheated steam. Here's the thing. Each of those things weighed like 260 kilos or 500 pounds a piece, and they were bouncing around like Tinker Toys. The guy's like, oh no, this is bad. He's making a run for the emergency room, read like the control room area. and the guy's hitting the off button. Well, he didn't know the off button wasn't an off button, but really didn't do a whole hell of a lot except for go, hey, this train's going down the road. We got no brakes. It's going downhill with no brakes. Hey, let's just start the rocket engine and really get things going. So that's why Chernobyl happened. Chernobyl, of course, went critical. Everything went wrong. It blew the roof off the place. And all these pieces of really nasty, highly radioactive stuff went flying everywhere. And these guys needed to shovel it in and throw it back over the edge of the roof into the core area where they then can cover it with borax and cover it with concrete and render it semi-safe. And then, of course, build a sarcophagus over it. So it was basically safe. So literally what the timeline was for these liquidators was they were wrapped up in some radiological gear, not much. They were given a shovel and they were given a 90-second count. Now, in the process of these guys running out and doing 90 seconds of grabbing this stuff and shoveling, and they all knew 90 seconds, you better get in or you're getting fried. Well, in the process of these liquidators doing that 90 seconds of shoveling, they received literally a lifetime dose of ambient radiation in 90 seconds. I cannot do this video justice. You really, truly need to see it for what it is. But it's how dangerous cleaning the Chernobyl reactor roof really was. And these guys got absolutely smoked. A lot of them didn't make it. A lot of them did, but a lot of them didn't make it. Usually it was a situation where the guys who were the firemen, who were the first responders, they literally got a such a radiological overage and dosage that it was unsurvivable. I mean, they didn't even know how fried they were, but they were cooked. So in the process of doing that, you know, trying to put out the quote unquote, trying to put out the fire, it was a bad scene. And you guys can still see pictures where they have like parked vehicles. There's like just literally fields of vehicles that are parked that are so radiologically irradiated and so contaminated that you can't do anything with them for probably the next 10,000 years. They'll literally be just dissolving into the ground as big radioactive rust buckets. Anyway, so looking at things as it is, appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Coming on like 10 o'clock, 10:15 time period. We'll be simulcast, of course, on YouTube and, of course, on Facebook. Good stuff like that there. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. I know you got many other things to do, but you get a gold star for attendance. I appreciate your kind attentions and good stuff like that there. I will basically check things out to make sure things sound decent on the Facebook side because I'm playing with the new microphone. If it doesn't sound good, I'll simply just drop a link for, you know, the YouTube video like I usually do. Appreciate your kind attentions. You guys hanging out with me tonight, and I will catch you guys next week. Eco to keep thundering as always. You know what, you love it, and I'll see you guys later. Catch you guys. Where's a button? There's a button. There's a button.